Okay, this is 6.5 activity. We're going to go ahead and work through each of these activities together. So here's activity 1. It says interpreting a graph, work with a partner, use the graph shown. How is the graph different from the other graphs that you have studied? So previous graphs that we've studied have always had either one or two just straight lines. In the most recent chapter that we worked with, we had where two of them intersected. Okay, so how is it different? And I'm just going to verbally do this. You guys can write it on your practice journal page. Well, in the past, we've worked with just single lines or two lines that intersect or two lines that run alongside each other. And now we're working with a non-straight or non-linear line. Letter B says, write a short paragraph that describes how the water level changes over time. So here we have our water level, and it looks like at this point, the water level stays the same. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna verbally do this. You can go ahead and write out, it doesn't have to be a paragraph, but just kind of summarize what's going on. So we have a constant level of water. It then increases at a steady constant rate. It then maintains the water level, and then it decreases at a constant steady rate. Letter C says, what situation can this graph represent? Well, it looks like we had a water level that was the same, and all of a sudden we had an increase of a water level, it stayed the same, and then it decreased. This would probably represent maybe some flooding. And then as it goes down, that's where, as the water recedes, that would be that last part of it. Okay, so that's just kind of understanding these different types of graphs. So we're no longer just going to work with a single line graph. We're going to work with where it's kind of made up of multiple lines, or it creates a nonlinear graph. All right, activity 2. We've got some matching here. So I'm going to push this up in just a minute, but we're going to be, it says you're riding your bike, match each situation with the appropriate graph, explain your reasoning. So we'll go ahead and match them, and then we'll just kind of discuss them out as we go. So letter A says you gradually increase your speed. So gradually, which means we're going to have an increase where it's going to go up. Notice that on each of these graphs, we've got our speed. So as these lines here go up, that means our speed is going up over the amount of time. Okay, and then our other axis is our time. Okay, so it says you gradually increase your speed. So where do we see an increase in speed? Here I see an increase of speed, here I see an increase of speed, and here I see an increase of speed. So it can't be B. Okay, then you ride at a constant speed along the bike path. So now you're going to be going at the same speed along the bike path. You then slow down until you reach your friend's house. So we're going to keep a constant speed. So we're going to increase our speed. We're going to keep a constant speed. And then we're going to gradually slow down. So letter C would match this one. So we're just going to put these letters up above. So this would match letter A. Okay, so A is done. All right, letter B. It says you gradually increase your speed. So once again, it can't be letter B up here because we're increasing our speed. Then you go down a hill. So if we're going down a hill, is our speed going to be increasing or decreasing if we're going downhill? Well, it's going to be increasing. So this is the part that sometimes gets confusing because kids think, oh, I need to go down. Well, remember, you're talking about your speed, so your speed's going to increase. So we've already used C, and we already eliminated B. So this one here, well, this would be showing our speed going down. I know it looks like a hill, but it's showing the speed is actually going down. Our speed wouldn't go down if we were going downhill, it would go up. So right there's going up, so it has to be A, but we'll finish reading it out. You then quickly come to a stop at an intersection. So here we're slowing down very quickly. So this would be match letter B. Okay, these ones are kind of tricky. You have to really read through them and understand what the graph is telling you. Letter C, you gradually increase your speed. So once again, we have an increase of speed. So we are left with these two on the right side left. So gradually increasing, it has to be D, but we'll go ahead and discuss D out. Then you stop at a store for a couple of minutes. You then continue to ride. So notice here, it says it gradually increases. We then stop at a store, so it's gonna decrease. We stay at the store for some time. That's why there's no speed going on at that little bottom level where it levels out. And then it says you continue to ride and gradually increase your speed. So this would match letter C. All right, so let's go ahead and read that last scenario. It says, you ride at a constant speed, you then go uphill. So we're riding at a constant speed and we go uphill. So granted, you're thinking it should be going up, but remember when you pedal uphill, are you going faster or slower? You start to slow down as you go uphill. So that's showing the slowing down. Okay. Then it says, once at the top of the hill, you gradually increase your speed because now you're at the top of the hill and your speed's going to go faster. So this would match letter D. Very tricky because when you're thinking hills, you're thinking that your graph should look like a hill and it shouldn't. Okay, so those are activities 1 and 2. I'll go ahead and do activity 3 also because I'm going to have you do 4 on your own. All right, so let's go through and do activity 3 together. It says the graphs represent the heights of a rocket and a weather balloon after they are launched. How are the graphs similar? How are they different? Well, they're similar because it looks like on both of them, we're increasing in height. This one's just not a constant change, but a gradual change. This would be a constant change in height. Letter B says compare the steepness of each graph. Well, they both are showing an increase in height. And it looks like they're both going to about the same level. And letter C says, which graph do you think represents the height of the rocket? So which one? So we have a rocket and we have a weather balloon. So we need to think in terms of when you launch a rocket, is it where it launches and it keeps that same pace from the get-go, or does a rocket start off kind of slow and then gradually increase in its speed? Because this is going to show a constant speed from the time that you launch it until the time it gets to whatever height. And this one is going to show the height when you launch it, and then over a period of time, it's going to increase and start going faster. So which one would represent the rocket? This one would be our rocket. And you have to think about if you've ever watched like a space shuttle launch, it starts off really, really slow because there's more gravitational pull. And then as it starts to, power out, then it starts to increase its speed. So that's why we're not going to have a constant change like we have here. We're going to have where it starts off kind of slow and then all of a sudden it starts to take off really fast. Okay, so that's it for this part of the lesson. You guys will do activity 4 on your own. Give it your best shot. It's very similar to activity 3.